and welcome back to the channel, Say What's Real TV. And this review is for Tyler Perry's Zatima, Season 1, Episode 3, Off Limits. So we open up the episode with tight-teeth Gretchen pretending like she's Olivia Pope, continues to drill Zach on all this SEC drama. She's basically going back and forth, saying the same thing over and over, trying to get him to admit anything, and Zach is not giving in. She holds up a picture of him and the senator's wife at the airport. Zach looks at the picture like, okay, and I work there, so what does that mean? Gretchen then decides that she's going to go to the door and pretend like the FBI is coming in. So I'm looking at the door. Zach is looking at the door. We're both waiting like, okay, Gretchen, where the hell are they? No one comes through the door. Gretchen admits she has absolutely no proof that this man is guilty of anything and just wasted all of our time. I'm like, oh my God. She then is low-key in her feelings because she is like, oh, nobody's ever talked to me like that. They're normally nervous. Gretchen, who the hell do you think you are? Nobody's scared of you, Gretchen. Not one soul. Girl, go sit your behind down somewhere. Nobody's scared of you. So she tells Zach that she is going to close out the case until she has proof. We're all relieved. Zach's blood pressure comes down a little bit, and he just he passes out in relief, like, thank you, Jesus. Fatima comes home after her long day. She says she's tired. Her and Zach have a seat on the sofa. He rubs her feet a little bit. She lets him know that she still has to go and get her hair done. And he then tells her about his day and how the SEC lady came and drilled him and that he aced all the questions and that she agreed to have the case closed until further notice. And everyone's happy. And then we get this knock on the door. So we know that it's the baby mom at the door because Fatima had already told her to be there at 6 o'clock with the baby. So Zach lets her in the house. She comes in with the baby. She was like, oh, you don't want to see your son? Zach looking like, I see him. He just right there. We see him, girl. We see him. So Fatima comes. She was like, well, let me hold him. I'll hold him. So she gets him and they go in the kitchen. She act like she's playing with him or whatever. So Zach and the baby mom, they're going back and forth. She's still complaining that she is not giving up any DNA until they come to an agreement on some type of child support, and how her private investigator has found out that he owns the building and owns the property next door, and he got all this money, and she looking around saying that, oh, their apartment is so nice, and basically all she was giving was gold digger, just plain gold digger. Because for one, how does everybody know that Zach has all this money? It's as if he put it on Instagram or something. Why does everybody know that he got all this money? How was she able to even afford a private investigator? Girl, we don't want you living next door to them. For what? You don't need to be staying next door, girl. No, we don't want that. We don't. So she's still going on and on about worrying about his money and what he need to be agreeing to and this and that. Fatima comes back over with the little boy, and she tells the baby mom, she was like, oh, you must have forgot. You know, do I need to remind you about your head getting bashed again? Because, you know, do we need to go over that again? So Zach, like, again? Fatima like, yeah, I had already bashed her head in one time. Like, don't make me do it again, girl. Don't make me do it again. So Fatima says, let her leave. She can go. We don't need to keep arguing about the DNA. Go ahead and go, girl. Do what you got to do. When they leave, Fatima says, we don't need her. I already got the DNA. I'm good. Fatima was over there in the kitchen with the little boy getting his DNA while they was over there fussing about nothing. So she swabs Zach's mouth real good, and she says, well, I'm going to send this to the lab at my job, and we should all have the results back in 36 hours. So we're going to pray that when these results come back in 36 hours, that Zach is not the father of the stripper's baby, because we don't need to be dealing with her no more. as it is. We don't want to be dealing with her. So Zach is impressed that his woman is smart. And he's like, oh, we are Bonnie and Clyde. And they giving each other dap and all this and that. So Fatima's like, well, what you getting ready to do? What's up for the night? He says he getting ready to go and jog with Bryce. So Fatima turns her nose up a little bit like, Bryce, ugh. So he's like, man, you still on that? Like, Bryce should be your best buddy. He just help your man out with the SEC. She like, no, he's not my best buddy, and I still can't put my finger on it, but I still got a problem with him because something is up with him. So they get over that, and they start joking and playing with each other like, you know, she's like, I got to go get my hair done. So he's like, I don't know why, because I'm going to just mess it up. And she said some little slick comment, and he was like, don't you be playing with me. And she was like, ooh, daddy, I like when you get a little jelly. I like when you get like that. So they joking and playing with each other. And then they head on to where they going, child. So we get this somewhat quick scene with Zach and Bryce. They're jogging. They're having a good time laughing and clowning about the situation with Gretchen and how he aced the whole thing. And Zach is being overly grateful to Bryce. I've noticed that in every scene that he's in with Bryce, he's bigging him up about being there and how he's not going to get rid of him, and he's so happy to have him in his life, and he's never going to get rid of him. Like, he's doing this like every scene. So it's like, what is up with all of that? We get it. You're grateful, but what is Bryce really thinking about all this? Is he looking at it in a different light, or why do we keep hearing those words, that type of language being used? So anyway, Zach then lets Bryce know that he wants to start flipping houses, and they happen to stop jogging in front of this house that's for sale. And Bryce is like, oh, so is that why we stopped here? And he like, yeah. So he said, well, I know the realtor. Her name is Valerie. I'll give her a call and see if she can give you the hookup. And Zach is like, dang, man, you know everybody. Wink, wink. He knows everybody. Bryce don't look like he know everybody, but apparently he does. So he said he'll give him the hookup. Then he asked him about Gary. Don't bring up Gary, Zach. We don't leave Gary where he at, okay? We don't care about Gary. But he asked Bryce, was Gary in the office? And he was like, no, why? He wanted to go check out some offices because he wants to try to look more professional and, you know, try to start up a business, and he wants to just start looking around. So Fatima finally makes it to the salon. She gets in there. Belinda is walking out. They greet each other. They make small talk. Cal lets it be known that Belinda didn't have any money to get her hair done today and to come back tomorrow with some money. So Belinda asks Fatima, what are you getting done today, girl? And Fatima's like, I told you today at work I was getting a wash and a press. So Belinda's like, girl, I'm tripping. Let's push pause. First of all, this is the same day that Fatima went to Belinda's house that morning on her way to work. So if they saw each other at work and discussed what she was getting done in her hair, why did Fatima need to go to her house? Like, that didn't even make any sense. Fatima didn't need to go see her. And do they work together or they don't? I was confused at that part. But then Belinda also apologizes for the night before and what happened. And Fatima was like, girl, don't worry about it. So Belinda leaves. Fatima sits in Gigi's chair. Gigi gets to laughing and snickering about something. And Fatima's like, girl, put me on. I want to laugh too. What's the damn joke? So then all of a sudden we see Angela. We didn't even know Angela was in the damn salon. Angela spins around out of Kyle's chair and says that, girl, they talking about you and your man. So they're going on and on with Fatima about Zach and Belinda and telling her that Belinda still likes, I guess Belinda told Cal, which Cal can't hold water, he said. He admitted himself. He can't hold water, so whatever somebody tell him, he's going to tell everybody else. Period, to the point blank. Belinda told him that she really, really likes Zach, apparently still 2 years later, and that she still wants to sleep with him. So we have Fatima is sitting there like, oh, that's my friend. She would never do that. Now, mind you, they just had a talk this morning. Fatima had, in my opinion, was late to work because she took her behind over there to talk to her, which I would have never done in the first place. But they had a talk. They called the truce. Belinda said she was done long as her friend was happy, and that should have been that. But no, hours later, we're discussing the fact that Belinda's going around telling people she still want to sleep with Zach. But Fatima's sitting in the salon trying to save face, talking about what Belinda won't do, and that's her friend. She would never hurt her and do all this and that and the other. Girl, stop. We have another quick scene with Zach and Bryce. Bryce takes Zach down to one of the offices in Gary's building that has a view. Zach wonders, could he ever have a business that is successful? And Bryce encourages him that, yeah, maybe one day you could. So he asks, do he want to go get some drinks? Zach tell him no, he's going to go home and meet Fatima. And Bryce asks, well, how is she anyway? How with the whole Belinda thing? And Zach is like, she's kind of, low-key in her feelings a little bit, but that's to be expected. So Bryce tells him to be careful of Fatima. And Zach is like, why would I be careful of her? And it's ironic that she feels the same way about Bryce. But yeah, so he says she may be plotting and scheming on him. Why would he say that? I don't know. But Zach is like, what are you, the woman whisperer or whatever? And Bryce is like, no, I just want you to be careful. And they go out the door, and Zach picks him up playfully, heading out the door. So we go back over to the salon. We have Fatima and Angela under the dryer. Angela is checking on her, asking her if she's okay. Fatima is like, I'm good, I'm good. We know when she says that she is in the back, whatever is bothering her, she's not going to admit that something's bothering her. So Angela is like, do you believe any of the conversation from earlier? She was like, skeptical. You could tell, again, it's in the back of her head, but she says no, she doesn't believe it. And she questions Angela to see if she believes any of it. Of course, Angela says no. They chalk it up as, you know how Belinda is when she gets drunk. Like, we're not going to use this whole Belinda when she get drunk excuse every week when something goes on, because that's already getting old. I mean, that has nothing to do. You just had a talk with Belinda this morning, and apparently that went in one ear out the other because Belinda comes to the shop for whatever reason, because she didn't get her hair done, and proceeded to come and talk about Zach. Now, if y'all are best friends, there should have been no conversation about you, Zach, and Belinda in the shop the same day after you guys had done called the truce. So, again, I already knew that Belinda was going to be a problem. So, Fatima asks Angela, do she know where Belinda was headed? Because we don't know if Belinda if she works with Fatima. I don't know. I'm confused that Belinda, her living arrangement, because she don't have no money for her hair. Fatima mentioned something about at work, but then went to see her before her job. I'm confused. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. She asked, do she know where she went at? And Angela told her she did not know. So we head back to Zach's house. He's getting out of the car. Someone pulls in on the other side of the property in the driveway. That person gets out. She's taking pictures of the property. Zach is like, wait a minute, hold up. What's going on? So she's like, oh, I'm trying to put this property up for a sale. I'm going to make a listing or whatever. And she says, I have to talk to the owner first, as if Zach, wasn't capable of being an owner. She's giving him a look, and Zach looking at her like, well, hell, you looking at the owner. And she was like, oh, my bad. Are you the owner? He's like, yes. Are you the realtor? So she's apologetic because I guess she assumed that Zach couldn't afford to be the owner of the property. I don't know, you know how what happens when you assume. So she apologizes. She introduces herself. She's Valerie. She's actually Bryce's friend, the realtor that he knows. So Zach quickly names her Shady Val because she keeps throwing these little slick jabs at him, you know, jokingly jabbing with the little petty little comments. She asks him, can she see the inside of his place just to get a feel of the property from the inside. He agrees, so they go in. She's in awe of the place. She's loving it. She tells him if he's interested in selling, that she can get him a real good offer. And he's like, no, he's not interested. Him and his lady just moved in, so they're good. She tells him she can get him like 1.5, and he's like, oh, wow. But, you know, they're good. She was like, oh, so you're married? He said, no, not yet. And she's like, oh, well, she's a lucky girl. And of course, he's, oh, thank you. So she gives him her business card and lets him know she's going to compile a list of properties for him to look over. So when he's ready to start flipping the houses, he can go through the list. And she gives him her business card. He looks at the card. He's like, oh, I don't see Shady Val on here. You know, and so they're joking about it. But I noticed that damn near every episode, they try to throw these different females in Zach's face for potential problems for Zatima and his relationship. Because you could tell she's kind of interested in Zach. Even though he's not really looking at her like that, she's looking at him like that. So I hope that every episode we're not going to meet new females that Zach is going to have a problem with working closely with, that's going to end up messing him and Zatima. So Shady Val is leaving. As she's going to the door, we see Belinda coming in the door. Why is Belinda there, y'all? Tell me, why is Belinda there? I told you this lady was going to be a problem. She comes in. Zach is like, excuse me, but Zatima's not here, and you can talk to her outside when she gets here. But Belinda tells him, I know she's not there. She's getting her hair done. She's coming on to him. She has a shirt unbuttoned, exposing her breasts with a bra on, but her shirt is open. She's telling him, oh, I know you. I know how you like to get down. You like to get it on. And he's like, excuse me, not with you. So she's chasing the man all over the house. She's jumping on him. He's trying to get her off of him without touching her. He finally has to sling her off of him. The girl won't quit. She's relentless. She's going on and on chasing this man around his own house now. It seemed like he really, if he really wanted her out, he could have got out. But, you know, it's a TV show. So she's chasing him. Zach decides he wants to go up the steps. Why would you go up the steps, Zach? Wouldn't you lead her outside and go call your woman? But no, Zach runs upstairs, right? So, of course, she's coming behind him all sultry, thinking it's a game, like they playing some kind of goddamn game. He gets upstairs and baby. So the look on Zach's face when he gets to the top of the stairs, you would have thought he saw a ghost. The camera pans the room, and who do we see? It's Zatima, bitch. Zatima done jumped her ass up from under that goddamn dryer. Roller still in her head. Hair still wet. She didn't give a damn. Zatima sitting on that bed. She done been in there the whole time. She done heard everything. She heard Shady Val. She heard drunk ass Belinda. Baby, it's getting good. It's getting ready to get good, y'all. She better beat Belinda ass for the old and the new, I know that. And I don't want to hear nothing about nobody being drunk. I don't want to hear that. Zatima better get her ass. So the episode ended there. That was episode 3, Off Limits. Too bad Belinda could not take heed to the title of the episode, but hey, Zach was off limits, girl. You agreed to that when Zatima came to talk to you that morning on her way to work, but you wanted to do what you wanted to do, so it is what it is. Thank you guys for coming to the channel. Thanks for watching and listening, and I'll catch you on the next episode.